Okay, this is part 2 of our practice test. So let's start with question 9. So with question 9, it says calculate the following without an algorithm. So they want you to try and do these mentally. If you need to use an algorithm for D, for the last part, that's fine. But overall, you should know some methods on how to work this out without an algorithm. And the first one, we are multiplying 3 numbers and they all have 0 at the end. So I know my final answer will have 3 zeros at the end. I've got to work out the non-digit zeros. So what is 2 times 2 times 2? So 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. So it would be 8,000. We can put a comma there. For B, once again, you can count your zeros first. I might just go 12 times 5 first. 12 times 5 gives me 60. So there's already a 0 there. And now I've got to add on all the other zeros. There's 3 zeros on that side plus 3 zeros on that side. So in total, that's 6 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we can put commas in there to give us 60 million. C, now we've got division and zeros at the end. And we've learned that we can cancel the same amount of zeros on both sides. So I can see my smallest amount is 2. So 2 zeros there, which means 2 zeros on that side. I've still got 1 0 there. So I'm left with 80 divided by 2. And now when I divide by 2, I'm just halving the number. Now you can use an algorithm if you want to, but I know half of 80 is 40, and I'm done. Now see, once again, we're dividing, and I'm going to cancel 3 zeros from that side and 3 zeros from that side. So I'm now left with 345 divided by 2. Now at this point, we are halving 345. It is okay to use an algorithm just for that last part because we've shown that we can still work it out using a different skill. They switch places, so 345. Now 2 into 3 can go once, remainder 1. 2 into 14 can go 7 times. 2 into 5, 2, 4, that's 2 times. Remainder 1. And we also learnt with a final remainder, put it on top of your divisor. So just divide it. We divided by 2 in the question, so just divide 1 by 2. So your final answer is 172 and 1/2. All right, with 10A, I already set up my algorithm. I like to have my larger numbers on top. When adding, it doesn't actually matter which order because we know the associative law and commutative law applies. We still get the same answer. So just add all of these up. So 9 plus 9, I get 18, plus 5 is 23. Add the 2. And I've got 2, 4, so 7, and 7 plus 8 is 15. And here I've got 4, 5, plus 6 is 11. 4 plus 2 is 6 and 7. And don't forget to put your comma in. So 76,153. I'll move on to B. So with B, we've got subtraction. You must have your larger number on top. In this example, they've given us the larger number first. I've set it up properly. I can see I've got zeros in the middle. So those zeros will become a 10 or a 9, depending on how it goes. Now, can I go 1 take away 2? No. I have to go all the way to 6 and take something from there. That becomes a 5. And I've taken a 1. We can't skip neighbours. It must go to the next neighbour, which is a 0. That becomes a 10, which then I have to take from that 10. And then that becomes a 10. And once again, I've got to go all the way back to here. So that 10 becomes a 9 again. And that 1 I took from there is now 11. Okay? And then 11 take away 2. 11, 10, 9. 9 take away 4. Is 5, 9 take away 7 is 2, 1 and 5. So 51,259. If you're still not sure about zeros and borrowing or taking, just keep revising that. C, we've got a division algorithm. So 3 into 6 can fit exactly 2 times. 3 into 7, 3, 6 can fit 2 times. If I'm at 6, my remainder is 1. And the remainder goes to the 3. It's now 13. 3 into 13, I know 3 times 4 is 12. Now, if I'm at 12, my remainder is 1, because I've got to get one more to get to 13. And 3 into 12 is exactly 4 times. So we've got 2,244. I'll just do E while I'm here. So 5 into 5 can go once. There's no remainders. 5 into 4 doesn't work. Must put a 0. I now have 47. I may end up with a final remainder. So 5 into 47. Well, I know 5 times 9 is 45. So I can go 9 times. If I'm at 45 and I want to get to 47, that's a remainder of 2. I need 2 more. Now, don't forget, we can put our remainder on top of our divisor. So we end up with 109 and 2/5 will be our final answer. D, we're working on our 8 timetables. Now, remember, if you're not confident with, just say your 8 timetables, I've got a timetable chart ready to help me, and you can have that on your test. Now, 8 into 2 doesn't work. It's too small, but 8 into 22, if I use my timetable chart, the closest I can get is 16, because 24 is bigger than 22. So it can go 2 times. That means I'm at 16. Now, if I'm at 16 and I want to get to 22, that's going to be another 4 plus 2, which is a remainder of 6. I've just got to squeeze it in. So 67. So sorry, it's a bit squishy, but there's 67 there. Now, 8 into 67, how close can I get to 67 without going over? 64 is the closest. That's 8 times, because 8 times 8 is 64. All right, and if I'm at 64, and I want to get to 67, my remainder will be 3. So 3 goes on to the next 7. I just squeeze it in. I now have 37. 8 into 37, how close can I get to 37 without going over? Well, I can't do 40, but I can do 32, so that's 4 times. Okay, so if I'm at 32 and I want to get to 37, that's a remainder of 5. Squeeze it onto the 0. And finally, I've got 50. So 8 into 50 can get close to as 48 is the closest, so that's 6 times. And if I'm at 48 and I want to get to 50, remainder is 2. All right, so then let's write our final answer. I'm going to write my remainder as a fraction. So 2 will be on top of the 8. So I've got 2,846, remainder 2 8ths. Now, if you have learned how to simplify fractions, you can simplify it, and it will look like this, 2,846, and then 1/4. Divide them both by 2. If you haven't learned that yet, you can just stop here. That's fine. Well done. Alrighty, here we have multiplication. Now, before I even start, I've got my 1s and my 10s. So I'm going to have 2 rows, 1s and 10s, which means in my 10s, I must put a 0. I want to do that so I don't forget. All right, 3 times 5 is 15. Put the 5 down, add the 1. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. So put the 0 down, add the 1. 3 times 2 is 6. And then plus 1 is 7. Okay? And now 2 is in my 10s column. That's really 20. And I've got a 0 there to take care of that. Now we can rub off these 1s just so we don't get confused. So 2 times 5 is 10. And I'll add my new one. 2 times 6 is 3, plus 1 is 7. 2 times 2 is 4. And in our algorithm, we've got to add those up. 5 plus 0 is 5, 0. 7 plus 7 is 14. The 4 down, add the 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. So we've got, 1, 2, 3, comma. We've got 5,405. And our last part here, it says use your division skills to calculate. So you might see fractions, but forget about fraction skills, just use our division skills. 60 divided by 2. This is what it's saying. You can write it like that. What's half of 60? It's just 30. Over here, I'll do each one individually. Now, I can see a 0 on top and on the bottom, so I'm going to cancel one from there and one from there. That leaves me with 50 divided by 5, which is just 10. That's in my timetables. Plus 84 divided by 7. You can use your timetable chart if you get stuck. Where's 84? There it is. So 12. So 84 divided by 7 is 12. Add those up. 10 plus 12, well, 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 2 is 22. And 22 for that one. And I think that's everything. I just want to check the applications. I'll just do 3 quickly just to start you off in case you were stuck on 3. So it says Lucas and 2 friends won the guess the number of lollies competition. If there were 824 lollies in the jar, what would they each get? Now, how many? We've got Lucas and 2 friends. So including Lucas and 2 friends, that's 3 people in total that are sharing. 3 people are sharing that many lollies. Just make sure you realize we have to include Lucas. Now, how many would they get each? That's just a division problem. We got, instead of bananas like we had in class, we've got 824 lollies divided by a group of 3 people. So divided by 3 people, how many do they get each? I'm going to set up an algorithm. So 3 out there and 824 in there. And let's go. 3 into 8, 3, 6 can go 2 times. If I'm at 6, my remainder is 2. 3 into 22, I know 3 times 7 is 21. If I'm at 21, my remainder is 1. That's a 14. 3 into 14, 3 times 4 is 12. So they can go 4 times. If I'm at 12, my remainder is 2. Now, if you're wondering, oh, there's a remainder, that's okay. Maybe there's leftovers, they can still share the leftovers. So I'm going to put the 2 on the 3. So if they were going to actually cut up the last remainders, they would get 274 lollies each and then 2/3 of a lolly. Alrighty?